Hi, this is Erin with the Perfect Fit Pattern Society, and today I'm going to show you how to work a sewn bind off. You're going to use a sewn bind off whenever you have ribbing that is 1x1 ribbing. I like this because it has a lovely little saying and you don't have to do any setup rows, but it still provides a really nice rounded edge that looks like the fabric just goes right over the top without stopping. So there's a mantra that you can do for this, which is really easy. You're going to start with a knit stitch, most likely, because that's how you've worked your ribbing. Knit, purl, knit, purl. So if your first stitch is knitting, you're going to knit on. So you're going to knit on this purl stitch first. So you're going to stick your embroidery needle in to the back as if you were doing this, stick it in knitwise, and then pull the yarn all the way through that stitch and leave it on. So you've just knit on the purl stitch. And then you're going to knit off the knit stitch. Okay, and that one would fall off. And I would generally put a stitch marker on this so that when you get back around to it, you can purl this and it completes the whole round. So anyway, so you knit off. Now you're going to purl on this knit stitch. You work the opposite stitch first, and then you're going to use the same technique to take them off, okay? So you just knit on, you purled on, now you're going to purl this one off. And so you would stick it in purlwise, pull your yarn through, just like that, and then pull that stitch off. Now you can see that the yarn wants to go to the back, so that is absolutely where it's supposed to go. It goes to the back. Now the next one we're going to do, you're to a purl stitch, so you need to knit that on. And the way that you do that is you bring the yarn through the two stitches so that it's in the front, and then you knit that stitch on. Okay, so knit on, and then you're going to knit off because this is a knit stitch. If you get lost, you can always check to see where you're at in your stitching. So you're going to knit that off. Now this one wants to go in the front, which is accurate. Okay, as you're doing this, you want to pull this so that it's tight and not kind of wonky. If it's loose, it's going to look bad. So this stays to the front because we are purling on. So purl on, pull that here, and then purl off the purl stitch. So pull that all the way tight and pull that stitch off. It wants to go to the back, which is what it should be doing. And then we're going to knit on the purl stitch. So you bring it through between the two stitches and back on to the front, and you would knit on that stitch. Now we're back to the knit stitch again, so we're going to knit off, and you just pull this off, and you continue this all the way around. So I'm going to work these last few stitches with the mantra. So this one goes in the front, and you can see here we've already got the beginnings of this nice edge that just goes right over the top and it looks like it's just gone to infinity. Anyway, so we purl on these stitches, purl on the knit stitch, purl off the purl stitch, purl that off and pull it tight. Then we're going to knit on this stitch. So knit that on and then knit off. And I find it's particularly helpful when you are knitting off to pull that pretty tight right there, so that it creates a nice left leg for the stitch. So purl off, purl on, and then purl off. Purl that one off. And then you're going to knit on the purl stitch. And knit off the knit stitch. So drop that off, and then you pull that one to make it nice and neat. So there you have it. You can see I would continue all the way through. You have that nice pretty edge there that just goes right over the edge of the fabric. So I hope that helps. Have a great day.